Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. In today's episode, we got a packed episode. We're going to talk about some new Lego. Funko appointed a new person to their board. And we even have some new cinema stuff that we're going to talk about, movie trailers and more.
Collecting is the way. Now let's chat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Collector Chatter. This is episode 149. I am Miggs here with Charlie. What's up, Charlie? I'm excited for today's episode.
Me too. I'm excited for a plethora of awesome stuff. I feel like this entire podcast will just be like positive vibes.
Yeah. A lot of different things. Yeah.
A lot of
We're gonna
different
give our
stuff and
input
stuff
on
we're
certain
excited
things. Yeah. So it's gonna be a good one, jam packed. We got a lot of different news. Like I said in the intro, Lego has been pretty massive. If you haven't been on our shorts, we have been all over the Lego world, and there's some new Pokemon, which is the big one now that is coming out for Lego. So we're going to talk about that, of course. Funko's in the news again. It's been a while, but they hired someone new, or they appointed someone to their board, which is an interesting person. So we're going to get into that, what we think, our thoughts, and etc. We also have Thrilljoy news. And this is in the positive end of things. So I think they might have listened to our last episode because something is going to be pretty awesome to talk about that. And then we're also going to get into a little bit of other stuff in the episode, which is going to be some trailers and things that were coming out. We want to get into the movies and stuff.
Some cinema chatter going on there.
Yes, sir. So we'll start off with the collector chatter side of this episode. Which is in the collectible space, of course, is going to be with Lego. Let's start off with Lego because that is the big one that is now hitting the news because, of course, it's paired up with Pokemon. We knew that was going to be coming out.
Finally
we're going to have new sets, right? And I got a couple things I want to say about this, but I want to get your take on, first of all, what do you think about what they unveiled? I believe they unveiled maybe like 3 or 4.
They unveiled 3 that you can like buy, and then the other one
like comes with it, right?
Yeah, one comes in if you pre-ordered from the Lego shop, like the massive one with Venus or Charizard and Blastoise. And I think there's one you're able to get from your Lego rewards. Those 2 sets are, they're not the big ones that everyone really is talking about. So my first thought when I saw these was like, these are awesome. But there was just seeing the pictures. Like, I'm like, these are sick. I've been waiting for Lego to finally get the Pokemon license. It's awesome because, they aligned it up perfectly for the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. And I mean, I've said it multiple times on the podcast, I do build a lot of Lego with my son. We both love Pokemon, and we've bought like the Mega bricks that just... They look cool if you can get them to stay together and you finish building them, but it's very obviously the quality difference. Like, Lego just does it the best, which is why they are, the real one. But it stops there because the one thing I was shocked about is these are all like 18 plus, like they're basically adult, like Lego. There's no like lower end ones for kids, which that reflects in the price point, which to me is just absolutely insane. And I feel like there's 2 types of people in the Lego world. A lot of the people are negative towards, and other people are like, dude, what did you expect? I mean, $650 for like that main one with Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. Like, I'll just start off with that. Like, I think that's absolutely insane. And I also think it's a bad way to start the Pokemon license, just in my opinion, because it's not an easy entry into it. Obviously, Pokemon is Pokemon. It's also just funny how you mentioned earlier how we made the short kind of joking about it. And, we've gotten so much engagement on it with people having their opinion. It's just wild. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. So, I mean, on the price point thing, I agree. It is kind of crazy. Some sets obviously get pretty expensive, especially because that one specifically, the one you're talking about, it's a pretty massive set. Like,
it is
tons of pieces of brick, right? So it's obviously going to be that higher end. I think, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you might have a different outlook if they had that and then they had a really small introductory type
100%.
one, right?
Which yeah.
So yeah, but what's interesting is that they decided to go like heavy towards the quote unquote collector or the high end adult that collects Lego or builds Lego, whatever it may be, and not at least now introduce the stuff for the kids, which I'm sure they will have other
Yeah.
sets. And, it kind of just makes sense. But for it to just kind of be unveiled like this way was a bit odd in the sense of like there should have kind of been a little bit more variety. Um, I think the price point is wild. Is it justified? Maybe. I mean, we've had a lot of people talking to us and commenting and stuff kind of on both ends. Like, yeah, that's kind of nuts. We obviously made that reel talking about the price being nuts more as like a parody, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it still seems like some people feel like it is justified because of other sets. Now, the crazier part isn't even just that, it's that this seems like it's already in the trajectory of being a set that's going to be one like super hard to get
Yeah.
and highly collectible and turn into like these high end flipper type Lego sets that we know like some Star
Yes.
Wars sets have and like other ones where you keep the boxes sealed and you like I even watched there's like our feed has been a lot of this kind of stuff and one of them was a guy talking about how he's like an investor essentially and he's looking into this because it looks like it's going to be the next huge flip type product. Obviously bringing up the massive Star Wars Millennium Falcon like one where it's like if you have the original OG one sealed, like you bought it for a couple $100s and now it's like thousands of dollars, right? So
Yeah.
like if this thing is like $700, how many thousands is it going to get up to if it reaches that same kind of potential? And being a Pokemon license, and we've seen the Pokemon world of flipping and stuff,
Yeah.
it could definitely be
It's
up there,
crazy.
right? So that's my take on at least on the price side of things. But I do agree, it should have been maybe something. And again, there is a smaller one. What is it, like
Exactly.
300 or
Yeah.
something? So obviously,
So
there is a smaller
yeah,
one.
then other one we got is the Pikachu, and it's also kind of the first two. Obviously the first one we talking about now, the Pikachu. It's like with them coming out of a Pokeball, like they're action type sets. It's not just like build Pikachu and it stands up on its own and we're done. That one's $200, which like that's still kind of expensive, I feel like, for this one, but like it's not as bad. And then obviously the one that I'll probably get is the EV, and it's 59. It's $60.
Yeah.
And that's the smallest one, but there's then like no other, like you're building EV and like that's it.
And so a question, I want to see what your take is on like, let's talk about the Pikachu one, right? So personally, and maybe complete people disagree with me, maybe you will too. I think that thing looks terrible. Like I don't like the way it looks. Like I think to me being like and it's funny that you had that other meme
Yeah.
funny thing, right? Like obviously looks like the other brick ones that you were talking about, which are cheaper and whatever. And I don't know, to me, like Lego should still look like Lego. And like I think because there's so many flat, round like pieces, you know what I'm saying? That
Yep.
it almost loses its Lego like aspect. Like there's thousands of pieces in this set. They're all just like hidden inside, and then you're just covering them with like a shell. Like that's kind of what I'm getting at. There's a lot of people in the community who are saying the same thing. And I just feel like that to me just kind of cheapened like it's like
I do agree with
you know
you.
what I'm saying? Like
No,
Legolas, like
totally.
in a weird way. Cause then it's like, is it really Lego? Like, yeah, you built it or whatever. But I don't know. Like, I just feel like some big sets and some, even when you think of this is completely different, but even when you think of Disney Springs, the Lego store, and you
Yep.
see those huge people outside and characters, but you can still see bricks and you can still tell they are Lego.
Yeah.
Like I'm not getting that vibe out of this.
It's
And then
just
you just
funny.
got his face painted on, a little, little mouth
Yeah,
or
you're
whatever.
right. Because like I'm
It's just
looking at some
odd.
sets that I
Almost looks like the
have.
kids like Duplos, but in bigger size.
Yeah, like I mean, I have like a life-size Grogu Lego. It looks like a Lego.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like looking at sets like just to see. I don't want to speak out of turn. Like, are we wrong? Do other ones look like that? I mean, some do, but like I have a
Yeah.
BB-8 one. It looks like you're totally right. Like doesn't look necessarily like a Lego because they did a lot of like screened images on like one big
Yeah.
piece that you just slap on.
It's odd.
I don't
A little
feel
odd.
like the big trio looks that way as
Mhm.
much, but yeah, I mean, right out of the gate, I don't think this is the best they could have done, but it's going to be hype regardless because, like you said, it's Pokemon. It's going to be Flipper
100%, yeah.
City. It's going to bring a whole new, I think, game to the Lego flip game because of that. And all in all, I really wish, like, to come full circle, what I said in the beginning, I'm a little disappointed they didn't come out with more stuff right off the bat.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, because at the end of the like, it's just weird because I remember when, we finally are able to get some Pokemon cards. Like, it's not as
Yeah.
crazy as it was, like, a few months ago. But at the end of the day, like, I love the hobby because, like, adults like it, and if it's for, like, let's just say kids,
Mhm.
Lego flat out was just like, "Yeah, we're not giving the kids any sets in the beginning." I just find that weird. Like, I
It is
find,
weird. Being
like
Pokemon specifically, like,
yeah,
you would kind of be okay and understand that with, like, even Star Wars could be for kids
yeah.
too, but you would understand that more. Oh, okay, they came out with, like, high end, which they usually do, but they'll still have a kids one if they, throw it out
They
there. Again,
always have a kids
sure
one.
they will. Like we're saying, this is just a beginning. Obviously, they're gonna have tons of other sets, but it is in like odd way to like release it. But the hype is still seems like it is there. So clearly they're
Yes.
smart enough that they're gonna be making lots of money because these are gonna be higher end because clearly kid sets probably would be a lot cheaper anyways. So maybe go with the high end stuff and then come out with stuff later. I don't know.
I just hope
Guess
they
we'll
do. Let
see.
us know in the comments what
Yeah,
everyone thinks. Will you be
definitely.
grabbing any of them? Are you hyped, or are you gonna stick with the Mega Bricks?
Yeah, which that's just hilarious too because they do look very similar to those.
They do.
But yeah, let us know. Like Charlie was saying, comment for sure on what you guys think because we were getting a lot of back and forth feedback, which we love, regardless of what you guys
Yes.
think. Like to just kind of get your input on these, and we were doing it on the reels, and people were saying a lot of stuff about kind of what they think and the price, and um, we have even some fans in Australia talking about like the prices over there are even more wild, which is kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
So
$1,000.
yeah,
That main set. It's insane. And even now, like, I'm looking at the Mega Bricks right now. I mean, I guess Mega Bricks did a great job of having them look just like real Lego because, like, they do. The Charizard looks basically the same.
yeah.
It's
No,
wild.
it's wild for sure. But I would love to see kind of like how this goes because there's already like the eBay pages up there, obviously, even though these things aren't in people's hands of like
Yep.
resellers and people buying them. Even that free like little set thing that you're gonna get is selling for a couple $100. Like the prices are already there, so that's kind of like where everyone's
It's
like, "Oh,
crazy.
this is where I should be investing because this is gonna be crazy." But yeah, let us know what you guys think because it's going to be pretty wild in the Lego world for sure. It's already been getting a lot more popular with certain fandoms, and now we got Pokemon in there, so it's a whole
Yeah.
nother beast. But let's move on to Funko. So the Funko news that we have today, of course, has to do with like I said in the intro, they do have a new member to their board.
Yes.
Um, they hired a guy named Reed. I have not heard how you say this, but it looks like Duchscher.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's Reed Duchscher. I don't know. It could be way off. Duchscher, who knows? But he's a new person appointed. He's pretty young. He's only 36, so younger than us. So he's pretty young. He is, of course, essentially an talent manager
Yeah.
and also an investor. So like he has like that side of things with businesses and stuff. But he's a CEO and founder of Night Media, which if anyone knows, it's like part of a company that he's a talent agent manager for a lot of like streamers and stuff. Some of them are Hassan Piker, who is like a live stream, like more political side of things. The Caligaro sisters. I didn't really know who either of those two were, but
No.
then the one that I did know was, of course, the streamer Kai Sanat, who is huge,
Yes.
massive streamer. And then, of course, another one who's kind of popular, I guess you could say, former manager of Mr. Beast. from
Just a
2018
little
to
popular.
2024. So yeah, we might be almost the same subscribers as him soon. Uh,
So
but yeah, what do you think? Kind of, I have a little take that I got on this, but what is your take on
yeah,
what this might mean, or what, it's still very early, and again, he's kind of the part of the board, so I'm sure he'll make decisions and help with like stuff like that. But it's an interesting one.
it is, because I think we're gonna have different takes on this. At this point, I think it's brilliant for Funko to try to do something like this, only because they've tried many things. It just hasn't been working. Now we have a guy who is proven to manage personalities to become huge. I think Funko's gonna go more into the digital space. We're going to really try to reach the, you know, younger generation in like an organic way, not like let's get some random social media person telling them it's cool that they don't watch. Like, it's going to have some interesting, probably brand um like product placements with other people. And I mean, they're trying something out of the box. I cannot fault them for it. If this doesn't work for them, I don't see how Funko's going nowhere, but their time to like shine and be in good light with their community, like people who built them, I think they're done if this doesn't work. If this guy doesn't help. Now he's only on the board of directors, but he's obviously going to give guidance to the company.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I think is, to me, a little interesting, is like, what is he gonna do? Like, it's kind of like, you can have all this history, and like, yeah, he's seems like he's done great, like he's managing people. It's very specific, his base of people. They're all essentially streamers, if you think
Yep.
about it, different forms, but they're in the YouTube world, and like, the streaming and Twitch and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, where does that line up with a toy vinyl collectible company? Like, where is his input gonna help? And I think, like you said, like maybe the digital side of things, yeah, like maybe he knows kind of, certain things that the social media side of things should do. And if that's the case, like, okay, that
Yes.
makes sense. Doesn't mean that the company's gonna be like way better because of it. I don't know. It's interesting. The only thing I don't know if it's a positive that you mentioned is that for the most part, a lot of well, I don't know about the Piker guy, but Kai Sanat, for instance, and Mr. Beast could be thrown in there. I don't know about the other girls. Um, their audience is pretty young for the most part. I mean, they're pretty young. Kai Sanat's very young, actually.
Yep.
So, like, is that crowd like really care about Funko if they don't know about it already at this point? And if they do, and we start getting that crowd, are they going to be switching up, what kind of pops are coming out to kind of cater towards younger kids? Because I'm going to be honest here, Funko has always been a nostalgia company. Nostalgia
Yep.
doesn't mean shit to these kids. They
Agreed.
don't care about anything that has to do with anything that didn't come out with a 2 in front of it in the year, right? So, like, it's just, I don't know. It's a strange one, but again, it's not like he's the president and CEO and like, or running social media. It's just he's part of the board. I just think it's like a piece that maybe they feel like can help,
Yes.
but I'm just questioning, like, what exactly is it that we
I
think
feel
he
like
will
it's
help?
going to open up doors and avenues that they previously didn't have connections towards, and they're going to throw something on the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah,
Which at this point, like, they can't, like, I applaud them for trying. It's
yeah,
really what it comes down to, because what they've been doing just isn't working. Revolving door especially in their digital team.
hmm
Like, there hasn't been a face. We've said this before. I mean, the biggest face of the company is Tristan, and they don't even give him the props he deserves. Like, it's wild.
yeah,
Like, it's just, maybe they'll find someone, or they'll find that collectible streamer this guy or something that could help them in that space.
Yeah.
It's even interesting he would like, he took this job,
Yeah,
like this
that's another
challenge.
thing I'm
Like,
thinking, like, what is he like, what's he trying to get out of it, or what's his kind of, angle at this? But I agree with you that I I don't like hate Funko for doing something like this. Like it's good that they're thinking fresh and new, and yeah, trying to keep up with the times, and obviously the digital world and streaming world is just what it is. It is a thing now that clearly needs to coexist with any company essentially if they want to be pretty successful. So I don't fault them for that aspect of it. And like you said, it's like, what happens if it doesn't seem like it's working out? Oh, well, then move on from him. They
yeah, it
have
doesn't
other people on
matter.
the board. It's not like I said, it's not as easy of a like not necessarily easy, but it's not like as big of a mess up if it's like the appointed CEO, which we're still trying to figure out because that's a new CEO too. And he's kind of in a similar realm where he's younger. He's
Yeah,
coming from a lot of the digital side of things. So like it does seem like they're kind of doing something similar in what they want to do for this company. But I do agree that the social media side of things has been lacking for sure. So is this something that's going to be helping them get more talent or whatever it may be for that? Maybe, but I guess we'll see, what that means for the company as a whole. Because yeah, when we started talking about the first episodes that we were talking about Funko and where they are now, like they've done so many different things, like they really have. But I guess they have
so
to
many.
evolve, and that's what they're trying to do. They're usually behind, not ahead of the game on that.
No,
So like, what do they? What does this move mean? So
and I'm even sure. Two other things I want to say. Like, one is Josh, the new CEO, when he was at New York Comic Con, I think that was his first like event. I'm sure deep down inside he saw that Funko wasn't popping like some other booths, or maybe some stuff he's heard or has even seen. I mean, he's probably been at those in the past. I mean, he worked for Netflix and Disney, in in events. And the other thing is, whether this is right or wrong, a lot of these younger streamers who have product, the people they're pushing that to are very impressionable and they buy whatever they're told to buy. And, Funko may be leading into that. I mean, it's insane because like my son is starting to like Mr. Beast a little actually. And like, he'll see the stuff in Target. He's like, oh my God, Mr. Beast toys.
I don't get
Like,
Mr. Beast.
I know you don't. But it's just like, they could be trying
No,
that
that's
angle too.
100%. Yeah, I'm sure a part of it. I mean, like more Mr. Beast. I maybe probably know more Kai, I guess, if we had to say like of
Yep.
the two big ones, right? But it's the same thing. Yeah, like everyone loves this guy, does everything he does. It's always he seems like a really nice, genuine kid, but it's true. Like they have crazy pull and influence. Like they genuinely, and both of them could fall into this, are genuinely influencers, like legit. Like you got people that are influencers that you say you hear
Correct.
it, but
They're
they're kind of
real
like maybe they
yeah.
are and whatever. But like they really are. Like they have crazy influence, and a lot
Yes.
of times it's a lot younger. Like I said, it is a crowd that is younger for the most part. But we'll see. It's
It's interesting.
yeah, it's different, but again, I don't think it's a negative thing. Like I didn't want to sound like everything I was saying was necessarily negative that they're even trying this. I guess it's just kind of like like what will happen? Like, interested to see what will happen.
They also need a new identity. They need a new voice.
They do.
Like
They
maybe he
do.
can help
Yeah.
with that. Like
Yeah.
they're just there. Like if I
Yeah.
didn't follow Funko for X amount of years, like I wouldn't even really like care about them anymore. Like they
Yeah.
don't have anything that's like drawing you in, especially in the social world.
Yeah. No, that side and digital side, all that kind of thing. No, not at all. Like,
And now they've alienated a huge part of their fan base by getting rid of the NFTs. Like it's crazy.
yeah.
So hopefully it's only good stuff.
We will see. Let us know. What are your thoughts on this Reed guy? What do you think he's gonna do? Is this good for Funko? Bad? Like what? We'll love to hear kind of your take and your side of things. And we'll definitely love to talk to you guys and comment back as well. But we're gonna move to a quick little thing that was a bit of a tease that something's coming, and we like to like joke about things that we say on here, but like we actually had a meeting with Thrilljoy, and they actually went over our last episode. No, we clearly just love to talk shit
because they
but
love us.
but something that we said, it just happens to be potentially or whatever is going to be coming back and happening. And it was on like a live stream. Carissa, of course, is the big social media side of Thrilljoy, and kind of essentially the face as of now, in pushing product and what's coming out and whatever. She was showing off some stuff, and she does this a lot, like, oh, this will be coming out soon, whatever, these are the next wave type of thing. And it was specifically about like 2 of their products. One of them was a Chucky, which is one of the, which they have a lot of Chuckies. They do love the horror thing, but it is odd that they're redoing the same character. We've kind of talked about in the past that that's a negative that we feel. But another Chucky character, and then even another Batman character, I believe is what the other one was. They didn't show up, but they said it. One is going to be like this weekend, and then like the following weekend, I believe, is when the other one's coming out. And then they, of course, in a cheeky little way, like oh, so we talk about the other big news, and whatever, they do it the way they want to do it. But they did come out and say that they will be now, and they didn't say what, but they will be making Mega PIX. They will be back. We screamed about how they need to be
Mega
back. And they're coming back. But not just Mega PIX.
Here's the
like they have been coming out, but the ones essentially that we saw at that OG original New York Comic-Con
2024
booth when they first were unveiled as a company, the non-blue ones, essentially, because that's all we were getting. So the few that we got earlier on before they kind of transitioned over to this new PIX mystery box style was blue as this or blue as that. It was a few. It was the Turtles. It was Freddy Krueger.
Beavis and Butthead.
So a couple of those. But now we're going to get like standalone IP character X, whatever, and it's going to be in Mega PIX, which we both have been screaming for and saying that this should be happening. Yeah. And why wasn't it? Our kind of brain started racking around the fact of like maybe the price point, maybe they don't think they could still do these big ones, yada, yada, yada. But we're going to be getting them. What do you think?
I think it's awesome. I think it's brilliant for Thrilljoy. They now really know their fan base. They probably do know that people are going to buy multiple of them in one sitting. These will probably sell out, I'm assuming, because they're going to be pretty low piece counts, one would assume. And if they're anything of indication what we saw that, 2 Comic-Cons ago, they're sick. I have the TMNT blue Mega PIX, and they're awesome. I mean, the magnetic parts that you can take off, it really, that feels like a high-end toy, like high-end collectible.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think you're getting it for a decent price point if it's still at the $200 is what I believe. Or
it was a little less.
Maybe it was $175. I don't even remember now. It's so long.
Because I remember it was a one price point, then it went up for the Freddy Krueger. I remember because of whatever happened. But let's feel like it was cheap. Like in the price point, it was definitely
I want to see
lower than we would think.
But yeah, I'm super excited for them, and I hope it does well so they continuously make them. Like it's not just okay, now these didn't do well.
I agree. And like back to
it was 125.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think it was that high. I think it went up to 170 or something maybe for that 120, but which we thought was wild that it was a crazy price increase.
Yes, you're right.
But yeah, at that price point. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it is at the higher price point, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because of the quality and the size and everything, we kind of know that they are legit and they're really good, done well. But what's going to be cool to see is, who they come out with, what are they going to release. But I also don't want them, and I said this in the last episode when we did mention that they should be doing this. Now they are. I don't want them to overdo it. and just have so
Yeah.
many. Like it should really be something special and exclusive and like kind of a here and there type of thing. Um, but it being away for so long, like I think that excitement and hype is going to be there where people are going to want to grab it because we haven't really had them, especially the non-blue aspect of it, but just the fact of it being the Mega PIX anyways, because there was a lot of excitement behind the Mega PIX when they first were released. And then I know the latest thing was obviously if you got the pixels and you got that redeemable, you were gonna, be able to get one of these. And I think now
Yeah.
people are getting those like emails and stuff from what I heard. So it seems like maybe now is when they're being able to produce Mega PIX again.
That's what I was wondering.
So
Which will be
that's gonna be
interesting
cool.
though. Like I wonder if because they've never given information about that Mega PIX that you get to redeem. Like I wonder if it's gold. And if it is, then I wonder if those are the characters we're going to now be getting, but they're going to be, their normal painted colors.
That's true. Which would be basically all the pixel sets.
Yeah, because I didn't know people were starting to
Wednesday,
get
Art the
emails about
Clown,
them. So that's not a coincidence at all.
So look out for that because we still haven't seen any of this stuff, obviously, actually person or what they're going to be doing. But it was a tease, which of course I'm sure we'll get more news about it. And yeah, I mean, I know we have, some love for a couple other companies. Social media is a bit more like the Rocket Motos of the world or even VFriends. But I will say, like, Thrilljoy still, like, they're definitely beating Funko in that world where they're still at least getting you excited and they're out there and they do lives and they do different things and they're on whatnot here and there. So, what they've been doing is still exciting when you're a fan and you're a fan of certain lines and IPs and stuff and you see them and now we got this news. It was exciting because it's like we've been talking about. It's pretty awesome. I can't wait to see if we get it. Or what we get. So we are gonna get it, I guess. Or when.
Or if it's a character that you like, are you gonna get it?
So it depends on the price point. If they are on the higher end, I would really have to think about it. If it is at that 125, I mean that's really not that crazy. But I do want it to be something that like I'm a big fan of. If it's just kind of like something that's like cool and like yeah, that's fine. Probably not because I passed on the turtles. Like they're cool, but I'm not like diehard like that. So I even passed on those. But even the Freddy Krueger one, which was up my alley. That's horror, but I'm not like a big Freddy Krueger specifically of all the big icons. He's not near the top of my list. So passed on that. So like to me, it has to be a little bit more up my alley specifically. And yeah, I would love to get one of them. That's a great piece. Of all people, my collection of 10-inch Funko Pops is pretty big. And I was always a huge fan of like that size in the Funko Pop world. So
which they like stopped basically making those.
Oh yeah, anything big, the jumbo stuff.
Just Pokemon, that's about it.
Yeah, that was pretty much. I mean, they stopped making a lot of stuff, but that was definitely one of them.
Yes, they did.
I was still a fan of those, and they're sitting in storage now. Massive boxes that I have of those, but
they're sick.
Yeah, they're definitely sick. This, like, from what we saw, I mean, I kind of hope they don't do the ones that we saw. Like, hopefully, it's just something completely brand new, because it would be a little like cheap to be like, oh, now we finally got these that we saw these 2 years ago, type of thing. Like, I don't want it to be that. Even though a couple of those are pretty fire. But
yeah, I'm trying to think of what it would be.
Well, there was a Gandalf. There was
but I'm trying to think of what they're gonna release as their.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think it would be that, right? Like, it was a Gandalf. There was a Jason. There was.
I feel like it's gonna be. It could be Jason.
One, I can't remember. I mean, it could be. I really hope it's not. But I mean, I don't know. Let's see. It's got to be some. I mean, I'm assuming it's more than one. Hopefully, I don't. Like I said, I don't want to go crazy. But if they just do one, it's going to be very specific. Like if you're a fan,
I feel like it's just going to be one.
So I guess we'll see. Because then if it's like, what is something that they think a lot of people will love? Or like you said, there's going to be people getting it regardless if they don't like
their
what it
fan
is anyways,
base is very interesting.
Could be just a random show or a movie.
Just going to buy it. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, like this is amazing.
That's true. That's true. So I don't know. But let us know what you guys think. Are you guys hyped about this as well? Because it is something that we have been talking about, and now we're actually going to get it. So it's going to be like, wow, we're going to be very nervous to see what's going to be the actual drop and when do they unveil it. But I'm sure we'll talk about that on here if we do get more news behind that. But let us know what you guys think for sure. And then the last thing I think we're going to talk about on the collecting side of things before we switch it over to cinema talk is One Piece. So One Piece has now finally unveiled. Funko has a wave of the live action Funko Pops, which we were excited about this because we really loved the live action. The live action actually is what kind of got us into One Piece in general. Not that we're like huge fans of the anime because there's so many episodes and like we don't know every single thing and every single character, but the Netflix show really, to us, did a really good job. And I think a lot of pretty big One Piece fans do agree that they did a well enough job that they think, it's worth, watching and being a fan of. But now we're getting, and I thought it was weird that we never got these. I completely forgot because I always thought
So
we
weird.
did at some point, but we didn't. We were just getting tons of the anime version of Pops during and / right after this show came out. And now we're finally getting, which obviously is a little bit of ahead of the season 2, which will be coming out soon. But what are your thoughts on this? Well, it was 6 Pops, I believe. Pretty much
6
the
Pops in the
main,
main line. Funko Shop's
main
gonna have some
ones.
exclusives.
So,
I mean, I'll tell you my thoughts. I pre-ordered Funko Pops for the first time in like a year and a
whoa,
half.
wow, look at you.
I love these. I mean, like you said, this is what got me into One Piece. Like, I loved that first season of the live action show. I've been like, I don't know if there's a show I'm more hyped for a second season than like I'm pumped for the show to come back. And I think I think these look sick. And it's just interesting because I had started obviously collecting One Piece Pops because of my love of the live action. And now I'm like, I'm going to have to get rid of some of my other One Piece Pops because these ones are just cooler for me and like my fandom.
Yeah.
Like they just like, and they look different, which is one thing I love. Like
they
these
look
are
like the actors versus
exactly.
the animated
I don't think
character.
they could have done a better job with these actually. Like these are A+. These are some of the best molds, I think. Between this and then just the Stranger Things 5, they're some of the better molds I've seen them do in a while.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that is
pumped.
one thing I will say, and this has been for a long time with Funko, is that even when they have bad stuff and they come out with stupid things, or we're like, what are they doing? Why are they making 100 of the same mold? Like, when all those issues happen, the one thing I will say about Funko is like, they do a great job of kind of innovating and being newer with like the newer sets, right? Because the OGs are the OGs. And then there's like another wave of Pops that you'll notice you could tell there's a little bit of a difference. Then they get a little bit more detail, and they've been really pushing a lot. And it's always kind of been like that with the anime or animated versions of stuff. But this is like a live action. So these are actually people, and people Pops a lot of times don't always look great. Like, they are a little bit more plain. But these ones, like you see them and you're like, oh, that's from the show. Like I can tell that's the actor, that's whatever. And it is interesting because this is clearly like season 2 Pops, however, even though I'm saying like, yeah, they finally came out with the live action ones, but they didn't have anything for like actual season 1 because obviously like Tony Chopper is a character that's not in the first season, so they have a pop of him. So obviously these outfits and these looks of the other characters, the other main 5, they are based off of obviously the newer season. But I think they look great. The boxes are cool. I think the colors really pop off of them. They look great, and each one of them individually. Are they the greatest molds? No, they're little. Like obviously the Usopp one is pretty cool with the.
They're kind of plain,
I think,
but I like.
But they're a little plain. But it is like it's the first introduction to them. We're gonna get a billion Monkey D. Luffy's, I'm sure, in the live action. Like it's just kind of probably what's gonna happen. It's happened with the anime side of things. Why wouldn't it happen for this? And it's gonna be cool to see. We got the flocked chopper, so that one's actually flocked, which I like that they kind of changed it up a little bit. But yeah, it's wild that you actually went and pre-ordered. Like, we know even back in the day when we were both in our heyday, I was never a pre-order guy
Yep.
anyways, and that was always you.
I just did it because I want them, and I'll probably forget.
But that's what would happen to me, and I hated it. Um, but I mean, not to be a little bit off topic, but I did purchase some Funko Pops
I
recently,
know.
as recently as yesterday, and that was my first purchase through Funko Shop in probably a couple years. It's like literally been that long, and it was like a decent sized purchase. Like, I actually got a couple of the Stranger Things pops came back on, and I wanted some of those, and I mixed in. I don't even remember. Oh, a Pennywise one, which looks really sick, and a couple other things just to get some free shipping. So those will be coming soon. So I'm actually excited to finally get something in Funko Pop world, because it's been so long. But this is definitely a great set. And along with that, of course, like I was saying, season 2 is going to be coming out. So the big hype behind it, we got like teasers. We got a lot of stuff in the news on, like, who's going to come to this season, and what actors are being, now involved in the show and portraying this and that. And there was a lot of hype behind this for a while. It did seem like it took a little bit to make this new season.
Yeah,
But now we got like a little bit bigger of a teaser trailer. So I think this is like a perfect transition, because we were just talking about collectibles.
it is.
Now we're going to transition to what we would like to call now cinema chatter. For you guys
Yes.
don't know, we will be talking about movies, film, pop culture, all that kind of stuff as well on episodes. And what better way than this episode to talk about some of this stuff? And this is a great transition, because there was a new trailer out for this show, which, if you guys weren't listening to the first section of Collector Chatter, Charlie said this is one of his most anticipated shows.
Yeah.
So now we're going to get into that, because we are hyped for this show. Both of us are, but this trailer looks great. It had a lot in it, a lot of new characters, a lot of new like villain characters and things like that. We got to see a little bit of them and get a little more into it. I did want to bring up, there's someone I feel like that's missing, but we'll get into that in a second. But what were your thoughts on
I mean,
the
my first
on
thought was
trailer?
like, holy crap, like you could tell like they have Netflix money now. Like
Yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
the production quality and the grand scale, no pun intended, is like it just looks so much better. Not that the first season didn't look good, but I was just like, whoa. And I loved all, like, once again, it's not, I've watched the anime, but I by no means have seen a ton of the episodes, and like they do a great job in this show, like bringing the pages and or just the anime to life in this live action, where it doesn't look like, obviously One Piece is a little over the top, and
Yeah.
like the live action still has that spirit, but like it they do it in a way where it like looks good, if that makes sense. Like it's it still looks like the manga slash anime, but they bring it into a real world. And I was impressed seeing that, especially with a lot of the new villains that they showed off.
Yeah.
It just looks good, and I'm so excited. Coming back in March. And I do think this second season is going to be huge for Netflix. Like, not that the first season wasn't big, but I think it's going to be much bigger, especially with things like Stranger Things ending, Cobra Kai. Like, this is really going to become the new staple, I think, for genre content on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree, and I was excited to see it. I totally see exactly what you're saying too. Like, you can tell the budget and the production, the changes. I did think the first season was done really well. Like, they obviously
Yeah.
had a good team behind it already to kind of kick it off. But I 100% agree, where it's like just the colors and the brightness and everything like screams like the anime type of content that this is. So like, obviously you're getting that. You're clearly getting, quirky little things and stuff which kind of fit into that as well, but in live action, where it like, you I don't want to say it doesn't look fake, because obviously you can tell some of it
Yeah.
is, but it's a little more believable, but it doesn't seem like out of place. Like, you're like, this is what it should look like if it was
Yes.
live action and not too over the top, whatever. And I completely agree with that. And then another thing is, they really hit it out of the park when it comes to other characters and like these villains characters and different pirates and stuff, and how the resemblance of what they look like in the original anime and manga and then what we're seeing now on live screen, live action. Like they might change up a little bit, maybe the colors, maybe they don't have this one thing and the other one has that thing. But for
Yeah.
the most part, they're pretty spot on. Like they do a really good job. And again, I don't know every single one. I know a handful of different characters, but there's so many characters in this world. Like so
Yes.
many with the thousands of episodes that there are. There's so many. And now we're getting them like kind of coming on to live action, I think is great. And I agree this will be a huge, massive show because One Piece already was big. When
Yeah.
the first one came out, it was popular, but you could tell like it was the first one where even if people were diehard fans, they were probably a little afraid to watch it because they didn't want it to ruin like the original. They didn't think how it was going to be. I think it was perceived pretty well for the most part. There could be some people that are very critical, of course, but it seemed like it did pretty well. And now I think we're in a part that it's like, you know what? It did well. Like you said, there's not other massive like people hold, shows that are on Netflix currently. There's some, but
Yeah.
a lot of the big ones ended. This could be the next big one to really like grasp. I mean, think about it. It got both of us into it, and we were nowhere near fans of
No.
it beforehand. Of
I even like got
anime.
my dad likes a lot of the same stuff that I like, but I mean, I was like, you need to watch this show. And the first was like, this looks a little like, it was maybe a little too like campy, but he loved, like, even he loved it. Like, I think the show really made it. I mean, One Piece is obviously mainstream in its own right, but like, it was just such a perfect partnership. And I'm happy Netflix is actually the, people making the production. Because I think in the hands of other studios, like, this could have been a huge flop.
Yeah. Yeah. And like too cheesy and campy. Like probably wouldn't have.
It's like the perfect amount.
Yeah. I agree. I'm excited for it though. And the fact that it's March, which is not too far away.
No.
I'm sure maybe we'll get some more trailers and some more things. Like obviously the big teaser in the very beginning was that like Tony Chopper, like that character was gonna be in there, and they didn't show
No.
in this trailer like at all. So that's like, okay, that's interesting. And then isn't there, unless I missed it, isn't there a character that Cholo's playing?
He's not.
He wasn't in there,
He's
or is
not
he
in
not?
this season. He's not going to be in
Oh,
this
it's a
season.
season. So they're really like ripping out seasons, and they're going ahead.
Filming season 3 now. I'm assuming he is going to be in some sort of end credit scene. I would assume, to introduce him, because once he's in the show, like, dude, it's gonna be fucking, pardon my French, sick, because I love him. But they also, they haven't shown, unless I missed it, one of the big villains of what they've said for this season is Crocodile, who is being played by Joe Manganiello.
He's going to be in this season?
Yeah. I don't think they've shown
that's
him.
what I'm saying. I think there's a lot. Like, again, this wasn't a full blown, even though it was a pretty long, decent sized trailer.
Yeah.
It was considered a teaser, I guess, technically. And maybe that's why, because they're like really just ripping. And I just wonder how long this is going to be, how many episodes in the season. Because I also don't want it to feel like rushed, because there's so many episodes in the real anime. Okay. So many episodes in the real anime. I don't want them to feel like they have to catch up so fast. They have to overdo it.
I do agree.
Ram a lot of things in, because there's clearly going to be a lot of gaps in this version, because they do got to kind of make it. They're not going to just draw it out with a lot of filler. They're really like hitting you with stuff. And that kind of happened with even the first season, like the way they kind of jumped ahead a little bit. So yeah, can't wait to see. I'm excited though. It is one of my top most anticipated as well for the couple months from now. So
yeah,
cannot wait. If you guys are fans, let us know. I mean, I'm sure we have some fans, because One Piece has been very popular in the collector world as well. When all the pops that came out, everyone was going nuts for those. So
like, there hadn't been hype for a Funko Pop collab, and like, I don't think ever since we've been collecting. I've been collecting from the beginning. Like when that came out, like people lost their mind. It finally, maybe towards the end of last year, middle of last year was like when it finally like slowed down because Funko got greedy.
Yeah, they were just doing too many. I mean, I think even in this, we didn't talk about this, and we don't really need to, but the Target Con stuff that's coming out, I think there's like one of the is there a One Piece one that's like in the like comic style or something?
Oh yeah, it's a wanted poster.
The
Yeah,
Wanted poster one, yeah. It's
no
gonna
one
be one of
wants
those,
those
so they're still
anymore.
doing those. So
Those were sick in the beginning, but yeah, they ruined everything.
Just got a little too crazy. But yeah, can't wait. But speaking of teasers, well, we thought they were teasers, which I'm sure we're going to talk about what was actually said about them. But
Yeah.
of course, it's Doomsday. This is another obviously highly anticipated. There's still a while before this even comes out, so we still got a long time to kind of like really figure things out and what's going to happen in this massive movie, because it's the first time that we're really getting like a huge Avengers style movie in a long time.
Yeah, in a while.
Especially with what has been going on in Marvel and, the MCU.
Marvel's basically sucked since the last.
I'm saying, like, that gap of like, yeah, we got some stuff here and there that was like good or okay, but nothing has been like the prime days of that run that they really had, right? And now they're doing something which I know you're a fan of, because we talk about this all the time, with all these leaks that were coming out, and then it's just funny how much it quote unquote leaked, and then it would get pulled down, and then we got the official stuff. But we got 4 now in total of these small clips, very short clips, and they all end the same way, where it's like, this character will be back on Avengers Doomsday, and then the countdown. But the latest one we saw, I think this one actually, it was the first one I saw before you saw, right? Because then they got pulled down, which is crazy, like so fast. And it was, to me, I thought it was funny, the mix of Shuri, Namor, and then freaking the Thing.
Ben,
like, it was like, I'm like, what is this like mix? What are they trying to do here? But it was cool because each one, I think, is just building more anticipation, right? More hype, because they're short and you like kind of get excited, then they just end. I feel like that's driving more like adrenaline and more excitement behind this. But like, what's your take on the 4 that came out? And then I want to talk about obviously what the Russo brothers came out and said, because that's where we kind of speculate.
So out of the 4, so we got the one that you just mentioned, which was, it basically says the Wakandans and the Fantastic Four will be back in Doomsday. We got the X-Men. We got
that one was sick.
We got Captain America, and we got Thor. In my opinion, the best one, there is no contest, is the X-Men. I mean, dude, the Russo brothers are giving us peak Cyclops, still James Marsden, like what you always want to see. He's wearing like the blue and yellow costume. I mean, that was just so badass. There's Sentinels walking in the background. Like, I think that is the trailer that really got people like, this movie. I mean, I do read a lot of rumors and leaks and watch YouTubers, but like seeing that, I was like, oh, holy crap.
Yeah.
My second favorite one actually was Thor. I think Chris Hemsworth is, dare I say, like, he is, in my opinion, the best casting, even a little bit over Robert Downey Jr., and I love him as Iron Man. Like, I feel like you could have found someone else who could be Iron Man, even though Robert Downey Jr. is perfect. Like, Chris Hemsworth, I mean, if you just saw that guy walking in real life, he is Thor. Like,
especially because like Thor, the character, is also kind of like a mythical, legit, not Marvel like character, right? Like,
he just is. And that the whole like teaser with him like asking his dad for help and guidance, like, I loved that one. Then the Captain America one was pretty cool, but I basically had like read what that entire trailer was before I even saw a leak. And like, I knew, like, I know some people who don't like to read rumors at all are like, holy crap, Chris Evans is back. Like, I knew he was going to be in it. So like, that one didn't hype me as much. And then I thought the last one was kind of a little corny. But I did not like it. I just like the Thor and X-Men ones were just completely badass.
Yeah.
But that's what I want at this point. Like, sorry, but like that's what I want out of my Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And I think they know that that's what the fans want again.
Yeah. I mean, it was fitting and it makes sense for the Chris Evans one to be first.
Yes, 100%.
Because, you know, even of all the characters, you might love other ones more than than another. Like, he's Captain America. He's still like the guy. Besides Iron Man, obviously, they'd probably be the one too, right? And knowing what happened to him and we're never going to see him again. And if you don't read rumors, you don't know what's happening. I'm sure when you read that, when you first did, it was probably kind of like, whoa, I wouldn't expect him to come back type of thing. So like seeing that got those juices kind of going where you're like, all right, where are they going to go with this? This is crazy. Like, this is kind of cool. The second one, 100%, a lot of emotion, filmed like sick for like a small clip, like just the quality
Super
of that and the woods and
cinematic.
everything. Like, he was like, holy shit, like they still got it. And then you're obviously getting all the emotion behind it and everything and him talking and stuff. And like you said, yeah, like he's a perfect cast to what that is. I do agree with that. I think Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is probably still the most perfect, but I get your point of it where like if you saw Ryan Reynolds walking around normally, you're not like, oh, that's Deadpool. You see Chris Hemsworth walking around, you're like, that's
he's
Thor.
Just like he
doesn't have
god.
to be wearing he doesn't have to be wearing it. Yeah, so that's different. So I get that part. But that Cyclops one was by far definitely 100% agree the best one, the most excited hype behind it. When the leaks were coming out, as disgustingly blurry and bad those things were, people still were like, holy,
yes,
like this or whatever. Clearly, when you see it in HD, you're even more like, wow, because even that Xavier scene, like all of that was even just like
everything.
Oh, like what the hell? This is sick. And it's just, I think what really also ramped that up is the fact that like now we're really getting X-Men in the MCU. Yeah, like we've had bits and pieces and little by little like kind of getting the introduction of them and then them randomly popping in and dying and whatever it is and like the fucking multiverse stuff. But this is like, no, they are officially going to be a part of this. They are clearly a big part of it. And the fact that they're bringing back the OG ones just kind of really like gives you like a different feeling of like, like you remember those and you have the nostalgia of it, right? Of who they were. But yeah, that Cyclops scene alone is just insane. Like it just makes you think like, what is that gonna bigger picture?
You
like
never
what's
had Cyclops be that badass because
that's another
in those
thing.
movies,
Cyclops,
Wolverine was.
Yes, that and it wasn't even just those movies. Wolverine himself became all they would do. He had his own movies and he just went on a whole nother tangent where if you really, 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 really know X-Men, the comics, like Cyclops is the guy. He's the freaking leader. Like he did get a backseat, which is kind of crazy to think. So this is cool to see like him getting his. And we'll talk about this, but I wonder like these OG X-Men, like, are they only really there for like kind of a piece and then we're gonna get a new version and whatever? Or that's like what I feel like, which kind of sucks. But then it'll be exciting to see like who's gonna be cast as a new person, who's gonna be this or whatever. Because some of them are older and like, can they really just continue? Like, probably not. But it's cool to get that as a major piece either way. And then even the last one, like I 100% agree, a little gimmicky, little out of left field, like if we're being honest. Because even though the X-Men Cyclops one wasn't like our big major MCU guy, it was still a major enough character. Now we're getting like very much side characters and then a brand new character that we just got introduced to with the Thing. And it was a weird, I mean, I don't know the comics enough of that story to know, like I know Sue has something with Namor in comics.
Yeah.
So, like there's clearly a crossover there.
Which that's probably, I think,
which I'm assuming that's going to have, something. But like for Shuri to be there and then like it, to me, that was just a little bit of a weird one.
Yeah, I think part of the problem for me is like I absolutely just don't like Shuri. Like I just, that character for me is just hot garbage.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Like it just,
I mean, I like her, but I think it's pretty obvious that they don't love her as much because she's attached to M'Baku and like it's not just her. Like if it was Wakanda, it should have just been her, right?
Well, she's a
Like
problematic actress, I
the
think.
fact that he's in there too is kind of like, okay, maybe they
Yeah.
don't,
And
like
it's funny. I loved her when she had T'Challa to play off of.
yeah,
And,
the little sister that was like techie and
I
doing
like
all
that
that.
she's smart. Yeah, all of that. But now, like, I don't like her as like the lead.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's a character that they can still like. We'll probably get another Black Panther. I'm assuming
Yeah.
in some way. I would hope.
If you see an F1, you see
Yeah,
the
well,
new Black Panther.
that's the big rumor. Yeah, which is a great one actually. That'd be fucking awesome.
Peak
He's
casting,
great,
perfect.
very,
I
very
love
good.
Chadwick, but like, I think
No,
Chadwick would be
yeah,
like, I want
100%.
you to be Black Panther.
100%. So that's going to be something that we'll see. But ultimately, and what I think once the Russos came out and started talking about this, anyways, it might kind of make a little bit more sense now, or not that it makes sense, but like there's something clearly there that was for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And if you guys didn't see, obviously they had a post, and I'll just tell you real quick. So basically, what they said is they're actually saying that these aren't trailers or teasers. Like that's not what they want people to realize. They're actually stories. So like it says, pay attention. What you've been watching for the last 4 weeks, which obviously what these four are not teasers or trailers. They are stories. They are clues. Pay attention. So we know that the Russos love doing these little like Easter eggs and things like pictures that they randomly have silhouettes, and it's like, what does this mean? And then even if I feel like sometimes they do it not really having a reason, and they just want to see like people just go crazy and think of shit. It's like the fucking Taylor Swift of movies, where it's like go crazy on Easter eggs.
Agreed.
But I'm assuming they did this because there is some kind of tie to what they're saying, and it makes me think like, because at first what I was thinking, not even when I saw this, I don't know if you agree with this, but I almost started thinking like that these clips weren't actually even going to be in the movie. Like that they were just like made as like some kind of hype behind like these people will be there. Not that they wouldn't necessarily be a scene, but because they were so different, that's the first thing I kind of thought. And then when I was reading this, I was like, maybe it is something like that. But
I don't disagree with you, and I like that idea. Like Pixar used to be famous for that, and then they stopped.
Yeah, that's right.
Like looking at some of the scenes, like I can see that, but then in my opinion, the latest one just screams like that was just stripped right out of the movie.
Yes, exactly. I do agree with that. So I mean, they're all completely different world, but then again, we don't know exactly what's happening in the movie to know. Like for the most part, I know you read and we look at a lot of leaks and stuff like that, but it does seem like it's gonna be something that's like tied to different worlds and universes and multiverse and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure there's gonna be moments like that. But what's your take on like what they're saying with the, these are stories, there's clues, pay attention.
A part of me feels like they're just saying that, kind of like what you just alluded to. Like I feel like they're trying to come up with a reason why they did this, and they're just doing it for
in this
promotion.
way.
Or they're all going to lead up. Like I'm pretty sure we're going to get a real trailer for during the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, yeah, 100%.
We will finally see Doom, which like honestly, that's what I'm waiting for. Like I cannot wait to see the first footage of Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. I'm super hyped for that. But yeah, I'm just like I'm trying to like with what they said with the stories. Like I don't know.
I know. I'm sure we're going to be going watching videos. There's going to be people picking the stuff apart.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody will say something where we can kind of latch onto it a little bit because we're not thinking of it now. Because there's people that dissect every frame of any trailer, let alone these now when they have to like look at it that way.
All the reasons that they come together to go against Doom. Like I don't.
Yeah. Like it has to be right. Something that's like maybe they each stand for something. Like I think I saw somewhere where they said like the Chris Evans one stood for like rebirth or something new because you have a baby, right? And then like Hemsworth's is like some sorrow, some like they each kind of stand for something. I feel like, right? So maybe like redemption with one of them. I don't know. So if that's the case, I mean that could be something that they would do, but I don't know. It just makes me think like, what exactly? But the Doom thing, obviously Super Bowl, 100% I agree. But I feel like if we do get it, it's going to be pretty crazy, badass, probably a lot of action. But I feel like we don't see Robert Downey Jr. I feel like it's going to be him as Doom, but we're not going to get an unveil.
I agree to that.
And
Which
it's
I
still
don't
going to
care.
leave us like, fuck. Like
Because
what are we
Doom
gonna...
is like the best freaking Marvel villain. Like, unfortunately, like that's what's super cool now is like, when the MCU was created, like they couldn't use Doom. Like now you can because they have the rights to him. I just, I'm super pumped. I'm so happy that this is the direction they're going in. I've heard that, Robert's gonna stay on as Doom. Like, where I know it sometimes some people are kind of like, oh, like he's just gonna be the Doom for this. And then, once Secret War, because it's gonna lead into Secret Wars, which, it's gonna kind of feel like how Infinity War and then Endgame, like Doomsday into Secret Wars. It's just gonna be peak Marvel, I think.
Yeah.
Like, if people don't like this, then like I guess you just really don't like Marvel anymore. It's like the way I'm seeing it.
I feel like, I mean, it's got a lot of pressure on it, honestly, because of where they're
at. It needs
at.
to do well.
But I feel like it's almost automatically gonna do well because it's gonna have everyone in such a big deal. It's been bad. Where I'm a little not worried, but I'm be more worried as to like what's gonna fill that space. Like obviously Spider-Man is a big one. So like that movie I feel like will be okay. Like it's gonna make money, it's gonna be good. Spider-Man's always been successful. But what else is gonna come out? And whatever does come out, like is it gonna keep us in that same trajectory of like filler movies besides these big massive Avengers style movies where you're still on that high of the OG MCU? Because that to me is what drove the older MCU.
Well, here's my take. I think Secret Wars is basically gonna soft reboot the MCU, and we're gonna get all the characters we love again with new people. Like we'll get a new Iron Man, we'll get a new Captain America, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like Tom Holland will still be Spider. Like there'll be a mixture of like the new and the old because we're definitely getting new X-Men. Like I mean, I don't know if you've read like who Sadie Sink is playing, like, and I don't want to spoil that if you don't know or for people who are listening.
Well, yeah, I don't know if anybody else.
But like, I mean, do you know?
I've heard a couple of things, but I mean, I don't mind knowing.
Yeah,
I've
so
seen it
spoilers
somewhere.
If you don't want to know and you don't want to, go like maybe a few minutes, skim through. But she is Jean Grey.
Okay.
So that just shows you right there, like they are rebooting the X-Men, and because I've also heard Spider-Man is not in Doomsday. So Brand New Day is going to kind of be the bridge between Doomsday, that it comes out after Doomsday and before Secret Wars. So I'm assuming Jean Grey is going to play some sort of role in bringing him into that universe or whatnot. And yeah. So because the Hulk is in that movie too, and I'm not sure if he's in Doomsday. It's going to be interesting.
Punisher.
Yeah. That's another thing. We're going to be getting the basically Punisher special presentation on Disney Plus, which essentially is like a long episode / movie. That comes out before Spider-Man, because I've heard that whatever happens to him in that special kind of leads you into Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah.
The other thing we're getting is Daredevil, which I personally didn't love the first season of Daredevil.
But like, is he going to be tied into things too? Like that's because that first season obviously wasn't. It was just like, let's get him in the MCU.
From what I've heard, like, okay, I've read the comic book before, but from what I've heard about the movie too, like Secret Wars is going to make Doomsday look like nothing, and it's going to make Infinity War and Endgame look like they're little baby movies. Like it is going to have everyone and their mother is going to be in that freaking movie. Like,
I mean, Doomsday is 3.5 hours, bro.
Well, that's not official.
Well, but I could see it being over 3
Yeah.
hours.
But like that is like perfect example. Like we're saying we're not going to have Spider-Man is not in Doomsday. Like there's going to be characters who don't show up in Doomsday. They're all going to be in Secret Wars. Like Secret Wars is going to be everything and everyone. I'm talking about like they may pull like a Nicolas Cage is going to be in that movie. We're going to get Tom Cruise's Iron Man. Like I like crazy shit.
Oh, like what they were
Yeah,
really trying to
like
do in Multiverse
yeah, like
that they didn't
hardcore.
do.
And then the result of that movie is gonna create the new like one universe, aka the soft like reboot of Marvel, where we get like they can go back to giving people the characters they like. Because I mean, I don't mean to offend anyone listening, but like She-Hulk wasn't it. Like,
Yeah. Well, she's already, they're saying she's not even gonna.
well, because she hates Disney,
Yeah.
which is comical. But like, you know, even like I love Anthony Mackie, for example, and like I love him as Captain America, but like people don't want him. They want Chris. Like,
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that. Like, I think Marvel learned that stuff's just not gonna cut it in the landscape we like live in today. In like, I mean, I even say this, like, I'm a movie junkie, and like, obviously I have kids, so I don't have the time like I used to, but like, people just aren't going to go to the movie going experience is going to really turn into, in my opinion, in like 5 to 10 years, like, you're only going to go to the movies to see a movie like Doomsday. And unfortunately, not every Marvel movie can be that way anymore. They're just not.
Yeah.
Like, I joke, like, I was just as big of a Marvel stan as I was Funko, and I kind of had that same like like there's even some Disney Plus shows I haven't watched. I mean, I was someone who watched everything and everything.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, I agree. It got to definitely a weird point, but yeah, I'm excited for it because it should be that big, massive movie. Obviously, we have some of those type of movies still, but the Marvel side of it hasn't been like, so even Fantastic Four, like that was great, and I went to the theaters and I saw it, but
Me too, actually. But
like it's not like
it was
the
fine.
same. Yeah, it's just not the same. Like where it's just like you have to, it has to be Thursday night, like that kind of thing. Like
yes,
which we're still missing that. So
agreed.
can't wait to see. But let us know. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? We'll definitely continue to talk about Doomsday, I'm sure, on this pod and different episodes going forward because, we'll get more and more news. And even this little segment that we were talking about now, like there'll be times where I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit of rumors and leaks and kind of our own little takes on little things that continue to come out. The cinema side of things will obviously be more incorporated into some of our episodes, especially when there's days that there's not much on the collector side to talk about. And then we might go more into some certain segments, like I was saying before, whether it's like reviews or leaks or lists. Maybe we want to talk about lists, top things. We'll kind of debate things, and that'll be something that we'll do to kind of have some fun chatter around cinema stuff as well, not just the collector side of things. But
we hoped you liked us adding that into, Collector Chatter. So as always, you can find us at Collector Chatter on Instagram and on all podcast platforms that you listen to. So if you're on Spotify, please make sure you give us a review there and interact with our poll for every episode. And if you're on other podcast platforms like Apple, please make sure you give us a rating there as well. And then come on over to YouTube. And if you're already on YouTube, thank you. Because when you're here, you get to see all the images of everything that we talk about, which is exclusive to YouTube. And obviously, like this video, hit the notification bell so you know when new episodes come out. And obviously, always throw us a comment because we love engaging with everyone. Let us know what you thought about the, us talking about some of the cinema stuff. And as always, you can find me and Miguel on our handles at collector_Migs and at collector_Charlie. And as always, collecting is the way. Until the next episode, later, everyone.
Peace out, guys.